Although a licensed pilot himself, John Crichton early in his career learned that his strength was in management. With a particular interest in expanding air service in northern Canada, he became involved in airline policy development, leading to the establishment of NAV Canada as the country's air navigation services provider, regarded as one of the best in the world. Born in Ottawa in 1946, John Crichton was one of 6 children in the family and developed a passion for aviation from his father, Harold, who served as a flying instructor with the RCAF in Canada during the Second World War. While managing the Ottawa Flying Club, John earned a commercial pilot's license, then gave up journalism studies to fly for Bradley Air Services Limited. In 1973, Bradley formed a new operation, First Air, and John was hired to establish new commercial routes and lead expansion of air services across the north. John developed regular air service from Iqaluit in the eastern Arctic, introduced jet service from Ottawa, and expanded routes across northern Canada. As executive vice president of First Air in the 1980s and early 1990s, John became well known in the Canadian airline industry, regarded as a guiding force behind expansion of air service in the north. He was the face of First Air in the north, visiting Arctic communities to work closely with customers and creating new services to northern Canada. In 1994, John left First Air to become president and CEO of the Air Transport Association of Canada. In that capacity, he was influential on government policy and was a key advisor to Transport Canada during negotiations that led to the Canada-US Open Skies Agreement, which provides increased service for passengers and cargo between Canada and the United States and delivery to a third country. As president of the Air Transport Association of Canada, John spearheaded the privatization of Canada's air traffic control and navigation services. He brought together the diverse interests of government, the commercial aviation industry, unions, general aviation, and Canada's investment community in the creation of NAV Canada. In 1997, John Crichton became president and CEO of NAV Canada and has built the corporation into one recognized as one of the most modern and efficient air navigation systems in the world. The corporation now has 4,900 employees at 130 staffed sites across Canada. It is the country's civil air navigation services provider, delivering air traffic control, flight information, weather briefings, aeronautical information services, airport advisory services, and electronic aids to navigation. Innovations developed by the corporation include the Northern Radar Program and in-house development of air traffic management systems. Recently introduced is an air traffic surveillance system called ADS-B, Automatic Dependent Surveillance Broadcast. ADS-B provides benefits for aircraft transiting airspace over Hudson Bay, expanding the capacity for a huge airspace. ADS-B is a GPS-based system that is particularly effective in remote locations and can be installed at a small fraction of the cost of radar. NAV Canada began deploying the system over the vast Hudson Bay region, an area of 250,000 square nautical miles, flown by several international routes. NAV Canada is one of the only fully private air navigation services in the world. In 2001 and again in 2010, NAV Canada was given the Eagle Award from the International Air Transport Association to recognize the best air navigation system provider. Under John's leadership, NAV Canada has built a global reputation for safety, efficiency, and a wide-ranging program that has seen the company's technology sold on a commercial basis to other air navigation providers. In-house engineering and development talent working with operational employees in the field continues to develop NAV Canada's own systems. These include transoceanic air traffic control systems and an automated tower terminal electronic flight strip system and touchscreen electronic technology. Such developments have been sold to other air navigation service providers on 3 continents: North America, Europe, and Australia. In 2006, NAV Canada received the J.A.D. McCurdy Award from the Air Force Association of Canada for the company's outstanding achievements in the field of civil aviation in Canada. And in 2006, John Crichton was honored as Transportation Person of the Year by the Transportation Association of Canada for contribution to the air transportation industry. In 2008, he received the Glenn A. Gilbert Memorial Award from the Washington, D.C.-based Air Traffic Control Association for lifelong achievement in aviation. In 2009, he was awarded the C.D. Howe Award from the Canadian Aeronautics and Space Institute for contributions to our aviation industry. John has been described as showing vision and boldness in pioneering new routes and technology which transformed the North, and made contributions to advancing air services and thereby enhancing the economic, social, and political development of the North, by bringing air service to remote locations in northern Canada that are not served by road or rail. To help ensure accuracy and safety in aviation services, NAV Canada uses 3 flight inspection aircraft to conduct ongoing verification and calibration of ground-based navigational aids, and to check the accuracy of newly designed approaches and isolate the causes of frequency interference or system outages. The National Post has described NAV Canada as a shining example of how to create a global technology leader. John Crichton is regarded as a skilled and effective manager with a deep understanding of the airline industry and the ability to bring parties together for a common purpose. John W. Crichton was inducted as a member of Canada's Aviation Hall of Fame at ceremonies held at the Canadian Warplane Heritage Museum on May 26, 2011.